Wednesday morning edition. Blue Sky Live here with you today. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford Studio. The Ole Miss Rebels knock off Alabama at Coleman Coliseum last night, 74-64. Win over the number 4 Crimson Tide. Ole Miss's first ever road win over a top 5 team in the Associated Press.
Is that right?
Top 25. That's correct. Yes,
Oh.
first ever road win ever over a top 5 team. A lot of superlatives, a lot of stuff to get to here today, including, more importantly, what it means for Ole Miss, their season, where they're sitting right now, 4-0 in the SEC, only 2 unbeatens remaining inside the conference. Ole Miss and then Auburn, who disposed easily of Mississippi State last night at Auburn Arena, Neville Arena now, right? That's right, Neville.
Yeah, I think
Neville,
so.
Neville Arena. They're
so.
in Auburn. So focus of the college basketball in the conference, focused on the state of Alabama last night. We'll get into that and plenty more here with you today. A show brought to you every day by Blue Sky locations all throughout Mississippi, North Mississippi, I-55, down around Macomb, the super center down there, the epicenter of the Blue Sky franchises in Macomb. So wherever you are, there's a Blue Sky nearby. Sweet Daddy's locations nearby, ribs, pulled pork, side items, and plenty more. Lunch specials, $5.69, couple sides bread, any size fountain drink at those locations. And again, we're in the Clark Ford studio.
We are. Clark Ford is in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900 is that number. Call it. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He will send you a quote within 15 minutes on business hours. Right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote, and the rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I have done, what I recommend that you do, and that is hop into a Clark Ford today. 662-257-1900. Guest join on the Campbell Clinic hotline. From fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions, the pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi, providing expert care for growing bodies. Visit campbellclinicoxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111.
It's a lot to get to. We'll talk about the stuff going on around the SEC last night. You had two road teams win inside the conference. Missouri held on for an 83-82 win over the Florida Gators. They were up 50-34 at halftime, up 16 at the break. Florida made a huge run in the second half. You knew they would. And then Missouri did hold on there in what was a ref show of a basketball game. It was about a 2.5-hour contest.
I did not turn it on. I got back, and I did not turn it on because I knew I was up against time anyway, and I did not need a distraction. So I knew you had told me, because I talked to you on the way back from soccer. You had told me what was going on, and I was like,
don't get invested in that right
I
here. I
started to turn that on, and I was like, well, if that goes to overtime, then So I just was like, I didn't even turn the television on.
So look, we'll get into some Ken Palm, some standings as the show goes on today. But main focus, obviously, Ole Miss 74, Alabama 64. Rebels down 4 at the break, and then outscored Alabama by 14 in the second half. They're at Coleman 42-28 in the second half. Malik Dia 23 points, 19 rebounds. I'm at 17. 19 rebounds there for Dia. They put 5 guys in double figures for the second game in a row. It was a defensive masterclass in so many different ways last night for Ole Miss. Neal has a column up at rebelgrove.com talking about it. We've got another story up with a bunch of stats and things in it. But Alabama coming in was averaging 91 points a game. They had not scored fewer than 78 points in a game all season. They have scored in the hundreds, the 90s a lot, 80s a lot. And
what was the over under on this game? The total 160?
160, 160-ish, something like that.
Jeez.
So comfortably under there.
I mean, all the analytics. I mean, you can say what you want. I mean, the analytics are just a bunch of computers that crunch numbers. They don't have a
They
bias.
Looked at the numbers and said, "Here's what you get."
I mean, that's what they score.
And last night, from the jump, Ole Miss dictated tempo. They created problems in passing lanes. They did not let Alabama's guards, especially, get into any kind of rhythm. I think Sears only took 6-7 shots the entire game. Phylon scored 1 point last night. Alabama's starters, 33 points, 14 turnovers as a group and a collective last night. It was
for perspective for people who don't keep up with basketball, and I have learned that there's a lot of people that do not keep up with basketball. As I wrote, literally was the lead to my column, for better or worse. I watch a lot of NBA. I'm a junkie. I read draft boards. I don't know why. I just do. It's the one sport, frankly, that I enjoy. Phelan, as of this week, is projected to go around 15 in the NBA draft. Now, he's young. He's right out of high school. So he's raw, and he goes up against older dudes like you saw last night, and sometimes that gets exposed. But the cat is incredibly talented. Like the whole, no one just don't. If you see anybody today do the overrated thing, no, it's not. Chris Beard wanted LeBaron File. If he could have had one kid, if he could have had one high school senior last year not named Cooper Flagg, it would have been Phelan. Literally, that's not hyperbole. If you had gone to him last year and said, okay, pick up the class, who do you want? And he just said Cooper Flagg. And they'd said, no, not him. His next answer would have been Phelan. They tried really hard. And then
0 for 8 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3, and 3 turnovers.
Just completely frazzled him. It was, I think you used the word masterclass. That was about right. What they did to Alabama's backcourt yesterday defensively was a brilliant game plan that was executed brilliantly. Not perfectly, because you're never going to execute it perfectly. Sears got off a couple of threes late in the first half that I was like, uh-oh, here you go, because he's going to get hot.
Yeah.
And, he's a terrific player. Don't
minimize Alabama today. They are a really good basketball team.
Yeah, they're really, really good. They're going to win a whole bunch of games. They went to the Final Four last year, and they're a threat to do it again this year. I know that last night and blah, blah, blah. And I know people, when they do it, they're kind of joking, but you really shouldn't. You really shouldn't minimize how good they are. They're really, really good, and the pieces on that team are really, really good. Mark Sears is a leading contender to be SEC Player of the Year. He is a terrific player. People around the league have incredible respect for him, and that includes Chris Beard, who, when I asked Chris about Alabama's program, he did the whole, well, I'm not there, I can't, which I get. That's not a bit. It's the truth. You're not there. You don't really know what makes a program tick. But he said, but I'll tell you when I see, and I see Sears. And so they're so much of the point of the spear last night was at minimizing what Sears can do. And he got off a little late in that first half, and I'm sure at halftime it was, hey, we talked about this. We can't let him have those shots. Yeah. Those are shots he can't have. Now, are there other guys? And this is what he kind of talked about. Are there other guys? And this is where, if you watch a lot of NBA, and Chris Beard does tons of it, more than I even think about watching. In the NBA, you have to select your poison. You don't, there's not an option. It's not like, hey, we're going to go play Coffeyville High School today. They don't have any players. It'll be fine. Mm-hmm. Nothing against Coffeyville. Yeah, I'm sure you guys are great. But when you play in the NBA, when you watch those teams, everybody can shoot. So it's, okay, what are we trying to take away? What are we willing to die from tonight? And Ole Miss last night was saying, we're not willing to let Mark Sears kill us. Now, if Aiden Holloway and some of these other guys knock down 25-foot shots, then we just die. But we're going to choose our method of execution. Mm-hmm. And that's what they did, and it was brilliant. They executed it perfectly. They were not going to let Sears and Phelan beat them. And then they felt like they could sort of hold their own, obviously, with Nelson. And they did, and I thought Grant played pretty well.
He was 3 or 4 from the field. But he missed 4 free throws.
They forced him into some turnovers. They swarmed him a little bit. It was a brilliant defensive game plan.
Yeah, Alabama commits 21 turnovers last night. Ole Miss only commits 7, and really they only had like 4 going into the final media timeout or somewhere late. When I looked, it was 19-4, I believe, on turnovers. Ended up being 21-7 there. Ole Miss gets 19 points off turnovers. They took, from a rebounding standpoint, it was an impeccable game for Ole Miss, given what their ability to do is, because they took 27 more shots and only got out-rebounded by 2.
Yeah.
Do the math there. That was an incredible effort from them in doing that. And then you saw another game. It's 3 in a row, just a complete emergence of Malik Dia offensively. He gives them tons on the boards there with 19 boards. He scores in the 20s, gave them big shot after big shot. And they sort of, even beyond the box score a little bit, you wrote it, it's 5 guys in double figures for Ole Miss, and it's getting a lot of different play in different ways. Padula was excellent, hitting a couple shots. He did a lot on the defensive end. He was really good last night. Padula was excellent defensively last
terrific.
night. He ran through the shot clock well late when they were kind of doing the ground and pound. I know he missed some shots, but he hit a couple of huge ones, including the dagger kind of late. Morrell got hot, gave him a little bit when they needed it, even though he again had a poor shooting night overall. 3 of 9 from the field last night for Matt.
So you got to give Bama some credit too for some of Ole Miss's shooting inequities or inefficiencies, because they're long and they close out pretty well, and sometimes
they try to.
Sometimes looks disappear a little bit, and that happens some. They missed some open shots, but there was some really contested shots that Ole Miss was forced to take that just didn't fall.
And then a lot of credit to, and again, we kind of said this on the show yesterday, and I think it even bears repeating today. Brakefield played a really good game last night.
Played a really smart game.
He did. Yes, what I mean. Like he was very methodical, very smart. He hit 6 free throws in 1-and-1 situations late. He went 6 of 6 down the stretch, and they were all in 1-and-1s. So 3 straight trips, he converts both. To kind of put it away, if you miss the front end, you're giving Bama some life there at different points. Just all the way around. I mean, it was, if you told Beard, hey, you get your dream scenario, I would assume it played out exactly like that game played out last night. And, where are we sitting with Dia offensively at this point from a consistency standpoint? I mean, he gets 23 and whatever it was, 19 last night, 4 on the offensive end, not 15 on the defensive end. But I mean, are you
Dia won't be expensive for next year if he keeps this up. He'll be in the NBA.
Okay.
Bigs who can shoot it.
Is he an NBA player?
Becoming one.
Okay.
Yeah. A big who can post up and has some ability down low, who can also shoot the 3. Yes, that's what the NBA drafts. The NBA is a 5-out league. You have to be able to play 5-out. And he can do it. He's providing them an option offensively that most teams don't have, because those people don't. Bigs who can make shots from the outside don't grow on trees. That's why the NBA pays them $1 gazillion.
First time Ole Miss again has beaten a top 5 team on the road. First time ever. They have, I think, Kentucky at Rupp in '97 was ranked 7th. Now I think they ended up winning the national title, but they were ranked 7th at the time when Ole Miss played them. On the road. Malik Dia last night, he obviously had 21 and 19 or whatever it was, so this crossed the threshold. First Ole Miss player to have at least 20 points and at least 15 rebounds against a ranked team since Keith Carter against Temple in 1997.
Oh, wow.
Last night. So
wow.
That was the last time that's happened. It's been 28 years against John Chaney and
did
the number 17
someone do this research
Owls.
for you, or did you pull this up?
I collected a lot of it off Twitter last night.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not grab the record books and start flashing through them in different points.
Because that is the thing that I'm the absolute worst at. There's nothing I'm more bad at than that.
I don't have a life, so I know a lot of baseball stuff off the top of my head just because. But no, something like that last night, I just started collecting them as people were talking about it. And I would sort of go confirm it and figure out there wasn't something off. Because there was a couple stats. I took a couple stats from the Alabama story last night from their Rivals affiliate. And appreciate all the help. This isn't a shot. But they had a couple stats that were wrong, so I had to go back and kind of check them and do whatever there at that point. But, yeah, I mean, just when you talk about superlatives, it's a really interesting night for Ole Miss and what they accomplished. 4-0 for the first time since 2013. That was a Marshall Henderson team.
Yep.
The last, I think they ended up getting to 5-0 or 6-0 if I have that right, but I could be wrong.
Was that the team that ended up winning the SEC tournament?
It was, yeah.
That was a fun year.
You like that year?
Parts of it.
It's a weird year at times.
It was a weird year. It was a weird team.
Yeah, last time they started 4-0. Hot seed if you hadn't won games, and then you go to the tournament, you beat Wisconsin, you win the SEC. A lot there. A lot in 13.
Yeah.
None of that happens if Millinghouse doesn't hit the little floater in the lane.
Nope. If you tell me you could write a book about a team.
Oh, that was it.
That would be the team.
Yeah.
Because that team had some characters.
Yeah.
Before anybody says it, nope, I'm not writing a book. Not doing it. I'm not good enough. Not doing
11 years later, you're not writing the book on the team.
But it
got
would
beat in
be
the second round.
But it would have been fascinating.
That would be a hell of a season on the brink type book.
Well,
that would have been the season.
That season was on the brink.
It was.
When they lost in Starkville that day, it was on the brink.
Yeah, I don't. Your mom asking, does Keith still hoop at all? He's got some back issues.
I doubt it. He probably shoots it a little bit.
I've seen videos of him standing around and shoot around, and he can hit 8-10 free throws or threes in a row just standing there in one spot.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think he's going to the rack and
he's probably not going to the Y and
hooping it up.
Probably not doing pickup. I'm guessing. I mean, might. I don't know. He's in great shape, but I'm guessing he's not wanting to take a lot of contact on drives to the basket or stand and take a charge right now.
No, look.
If he does, Keith, and I'm wrong, I apologize. Hey.
No, look. I mean that team. They didn't match up well with LaSalle. They should have won the game. I don't know why we're doing this, but whatever. I mean, that's the what ifs of two. Ole Miss doesn't have very many tournament runs or seasons where they won games. But you do have two really clear what ifs there because Andy loved their draw had they gotten past LaSalle to really make a run with that team.
He thought they were going to the Final Four.
Yeah. And then, that's like the Valpo year is that bracket was wide open if you just beat Valpo. Kansas or somebody got upset or Florida State won a game and it just completely opened up at that point. So, anyway. Doris says he's 41 and still hoops at least 4 times a week. Probably keeps you in pretty good shape then.
Oh, I thought you said Keith did. I was like, oh, God.
Oh, no. No.
Oh, if I thought I could go out and do something to be in shape without getting hurt, I would go play basketball. It would be fun.
Yeah.
But I would blow
anything that's sport related and you're not, hey, I have to go exercise right now. It's a totally different mindset.
I would blow knees out so fast.
The freest of all free shots on Saturday in Starkville.
Yes.
For Ole Miss.
Sure.
Just
100%.
Completely go play a game. And look,
although I will say this.
You're a pain in the ass on the road because you play defense.
I don't think Ole Miss will approach it that way.
Yeah, I mean.
I don't think there's a chance in hell.
There's not a thought going through Beard's mind right now that says, hey, just get to 8 and 10. I mean, not even.
Oh, God, no.
He's wanting the double bye in the conference tournament and the whole damn deal right now.
He wants to win the league.
Yeah.
And after last night, I'm not going to be the guy that sits here and goes,
well, I mean, look.
Would I pick them? No.
We didn't anticipate 4-0. They're 1.5 games ahead of where your pace might be that you would have been happy with right now. And while 8 and 10, I think in an SEC is going to get teams in, for Ole Miss, that would be going 4 and 10 down the stretch, which would not be a good thing in any capacity. So, I mean, I think you're resetting Ole Miss's over-under at like 10 right now. 9.5. Something like that. I mean, you've stole a game last night from an analytical standpoint.
I'd probably go higher than that.
Would you really? For an over-under even?
Yeah.
Higher than 10?
Yeah.
Oh. Because you think playing defense like that, they're going to win road games.
I wrote this, so forgive me a minute. I'm going to kind of recite my column a little. I'm not trying to. I watch the Thunder a lot. Like, pretty much every game. And last night in the first half, I was here, and I was downstairs in the old studio.
Yeah.
And I had the Thunder and Sixers on one screen, and I had Ole Miss Bama on the other. And it was weird how disconcerting it was. Because the NBA season, the Thunder have played 39 games. So they're 2 games away from the halfway mark. So there's a lot of basketball to go. But the point is if the season ended today,
okay,
the Thunder have the best defensive net rating in NBA history. Repeat, NBA history. That's why sometimes I push back when people go, teams don't play defense. I'm like, yes, they do. They build most of their stuff around defense. But what they do is they're very active with their wings. They deflect a lot of passes, more than most NBA teams. They're very disruptive. They run people off the three-point line. They force teams into late, mid-range shots at the end of shot clocks, okay? That's what they do. And last night, Ole Miss is wearing the blue that sort of looks like the Thunder's blue a little.
Yeah.
And Ole Miss is doing the same thing. They're getting Alabama very uncomfortable in the shot clock. They're deflecting a lot of passes. They're running them off the three-point line. They're doing those things. And mentally, I was struggling to keep up with both games. And usually that's not hard if you have the risk of sounding like a big jerk. Usually if you put a college game on one screen and a good NBA game on the other screen, the college game's going to be the one that goes slow.
Yeah, as it should.
And Ole Miss sped Alabama up last night. They made them uncomfortable. And it was kind of weird. It was like, God, that looks like what the Thunder do defensively. Because in many ways, it was the same sort of concepts. And if you can do that consistently, and Ole Miss has pretty much this year. Ole Miss did not shoot well last night. I don't know what the exact numbers are. I think it was 38% from the floor.
No.
29 or something percent
the
from
shooting
three.
Numbers were not, hey, go on the road and beat a number 4 team. That wasn't.
No. So when you can go on the road and play a very good team, and again, they're very good. They're very good. Alabama will make the NCAA tournament and almost certainly make noise in the tournament. They went to the Final Four a year ago. They're very, very talented. When you can do that, no, I think your ceiling's really high. You know, if you had told me, hey, Ole Miss wins the game, and I'd said, oh, wow, how about that? What are the shooting percentages? And you'd said
64 and 54.
Yeah,
and
well, they shot 64% from the field, and they made 52% of their threes. I'm like, so they just punted some balls in?
Yeah.
You'd be like, yeah, a couple of dudes made shots that, banked a 3 in from 40 feet. And you go, okay, so they had their night.
Yeah. No.
But if you'd said, no, they're going to shoot 30, I don't know the numbers. I don't have it in front of me. 38% from the floor. And
38 and 25.
38 and 25. They're going to make 1 out of every 4 threes. I would have said, holy shit, they really played defense. And if you can really play that level of defense, I thought Chris, his post game, listening to it last night, kind of searching for a quote for the column that I was writing, I thought it was kind of interesting where he talked about you have to believe in the game plan. You have to have buy-in on the game plan. You have to execute the game plan. And he was praising his team for doing it. And in doing it, basically saying, this has been a work in progress. Getting a bunch of guys that come from different places, older guys who've played for different coaches, to come in and go, hey, look, here's the plan. Tonight's about focusing on this plan. And I think he's getting that level of buy-in now. I think you saw that Monday when he got asked about Mississippi State and some other stuff. He was pretty laser focused on 6 p.m. Tuesday. And so I think that's what he wants his team to be. And if you're going to be an elite defensive team and you can stay locked in, it forces other teams to have career nights from other dudes. Mm-hmm. And that happens. I mean, there's good players in the SEC. So, you can go play, I don't know, Mississippi State and focus your focus on Matthews and Hubbard, and some other kid makes 7 of 10 threes, and you just lose. Mm-hmm. Shit happens. It's sports. But for them to do what they did last night, not shooting the ball particularly well at all, I mean, those are not great shooting numbers. To do that, but to force 21 turnovers and to hold Alabama to pretty well below their norms in shooting, it tells me that you're a team that has a really high ceiling.
Yeah, you held them 27 points below their season average in points last night on their home floor. 27.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a huge number.
I mean, Alabama's having a come to Jesus meeting at some point today or tomorrow. I mean, Oates was, it's funny. I read people I know this is just the fan thing. People were bitching about Oates and stuff. He bitches at officials. They all do for the most part. Chris really doesn't, but he does. Most of them do, so I don't hold that against him. I didn't think his postgame was negative about Ole Miss at all. I thought he basically said, hey, we were not as focused as they were. And that was, that will not be a fun film session whenever it happens in Tuscaloosa. But there was probably a part of Nate Oates that went to bed last night going, good. Wasn't fun, but good.
Yeah. Got popped.
I'm going to get their attention now.
Yeah.
Chris very clearly has his team's attention, and they're the other side where now you start kind of the belief meter goes up a little bit. And as that happens, you start playing with more confidence.
Yeah.
And, and they get Mikal Brown-Jones back soon, where you add another big-bodied, strong defender who gives you 5 more fouls to work with.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I would put the over-under maybe 11.5 right now.
Oh, wow. Huge number there. All right, a little more on that in a second. First, you've had Wendy's Nugs dipped in sauce, but if you've ever been covered in sauce, their new saucy nugs take the crispy and spicy nugs you love and turn them up to 11. Choose between flavors like buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, if you're a real heat seeker, spicy ghost pepper. Only a Wendy's signature spicy nugs. I dare you. 7 delicious ways to try the nugs you already love. Pick a flavor, grab some napkins, and prepare to nug like you've never nugged before. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's, a participating U.S. Wendy's.
We're brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. We'll have a hand raise, guys, tomorrow. Is today Wednesday? Yeah. Tomorrow afternoon, probably around 4:30-ish, 4:45, somewhere in there. We'll be with you for a couple hours if you guys want to be. Comer and Southern, it's getting really, really cold next week if all of the forecasts are accurate. In the event that you've got some issues, now would be the time to get those repaired. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, that area, get in touch with our friends at Comer, 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, South Haven, Memphis, those areas, call Southern, 662-429-4429. We're brought to you by Window Hero. Window cleaning, gutter washing, gutter cleaning, gutter guards, everything in between. Window Hero has the experience, expertise, and equipment to make your property look and feel brand new. If you're in North Mississippi, let Window Hero make your home or business's exterior look amazing. Their experts are fully bonded and insured. They provide specialized equipment, exclusive cleaning solutions, a satisfaction guarantee, and more. Get in touch with Roby and Susan Allen. They're dedicated to helping Oxford and all of North Mississippi with their windows, gutters, and everything in between. Call Window Hero at 662-510-7077 to get an estimate, or go to windowhero.com. Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? Are you already retired? Should you consider Roth conversions? These are just some of the questions that can only be answered with a personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Seago with Seago Wealth Management specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan. So whether you meet at his office in Collierville or you prefer Zoom from anywhere, schedule a free discovery meeting and see what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com. We're also brought to you by Arnett's Fine Jewelry. It's a 4th-generation jeweler located in the old Lamons Jewelry Building on North Lamar Avenue in Oxford. It's perfect for gifts. We've got Valentine's Day coming up. It's getting into engagement season. You got anniversaries, all of those things. Arnett's wants to be your jeweler. They have all sorts of gift ideas. Just go in, tell them you heard about it here on the podcast, and they will help you give a gift that your loved one will remember for a long time. We're also brought to you by Argent Wealth. Their 401k advisory services team allows you to gain a valuable advisory team and time-saving resource that will help you develop and maintain a solid strategy for your retirement game plan. They're committed to providing you with the personalized attention and involvement that you want and need. Their goal is to help you manage your 401k plan properly and ultimately improve your employees' retirement readiness. It's myargentwealth.com.
Podcast is brought to you by G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area. They offer MedSync. For your subscriptions the same day each month and take care of you. Also easy to transfer those medications. You make one phone call, they take care of the rest. Again, that is in Holly Springs with Tyson Drugs, or G&M in Oxford, 662-236-2222. Yeah, I mean, I saw a couple times in here that the crowd was quiet last night, but I mean, Alabama never really made much of a run. They made that one late in the first half a little bit, as you said. They ended up leading by 4. And then they made a mini run kind of around a very ticky-tack, flagrant or T on Brakefield in the second half. And it could have gotten away from Ole Miss a little bit right there. The momentum had flipped. Bama hit a shot. They get sort of a 4-point possession because of the technical, and they kind of just stemmed it. They hit a huge shot. Dia got a big shot right there. I think Murray hit a 3 in there somewhere over the course of that transition. And then after that, that was just kind of it because Ole Miss protected the basketball. They hit free throws. And look, home crowds are quiet when your team's getting beat. That's not,
Yeah.
I mean,
you thought you were going to win.
And they go to Coleman every time thinking they're going to win.
Well, and let's be real. Come on, everybody thought they were going to win. I thought Alabama was going to win. You thought Alabama was going to win. The computers thought Alabama was going to win. I mean, if anybody out there wants to give anybody hell about that, show me your bet slip.
Yeah, because you'd got a good money line last night.
Yeah.
Throw it at me.
Show it to me. Let me see that. If you did that, cool. You get to take your silly shot. Otherwise, shut up. Yeah, they got quiet. You go in and you expect to win. And next thing you know, the game's completely being controlled by the other team. You're not making shots, and you can't get on a roll, and that's what that team usually does. They usually get on rolls, and they run you out of the arena, and that didn't happen. Yeah, the tech on Brakefield. So, first of all, I thought the game was officiated pretty well. Alabama gets to the hoop a lot. They play downhill. You're going to draw fouls. Ole Miss did not force Bama into fouls early, and so they didn't get to the line much. I actually thought the one on Brakefield probably shouldn't have been a technical. And then the one, I can't remember who it was, maybe Dia. There was contact to the head that was absolutely.
Oh, yeah, they didn't elevate it. That's right.
They didn't elevate it, and I was like, I think you probably could, right? And so that's a tough spot for the officials where there is contact. When you see it, it's right there, but you know it's not intentional. It wasn't flagrant, if you will, but it was to the head. And you put the officials in a tough spot there. I actually thought they called a pretty good game.
Did you see the terrible call in LSU Arkansas last night?
I did not.
Kid sets a screen, and sure, the kid setting the screen kind of like put his hands up like this, and the Arkansas kid, I think it was an Arkansas kid, took a complete flop, and they called a flagrant on the LSU kid who was just setting the screen and put his hands up straight. Just like it was a ref show last night in those two games. I mean, just not like Missouri.
I went to a ref show last night, so I get it.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
You were there for a while last night. Did you get cold?
It was cold, but I was not cold. I was too nervous to be cold.
Ole Miss up to 16 in the net as of this morning, up to 18 in Ken Palm as of this morning. And I've got some stats on the Best Sports. You can go there. You can discuss it with your fellow compatriots. But Ken Palm now has Ole Miss 22-9, 11-7 in the SEC in their predictions.
Yeah, I buy that.
They've elevated Saturday's win percentage from 33 to 38% in Starkville. But the bigger note of this is, look, it's just computers. And I put this on the board. When you're talking about where they can get to, suddenly Ole Miss has at least a 60% chance of beating A&M at home, Texas at home, Kentucky at home, LSU on the road, South Carolina on the road, State at home, Vanderbilt on the road, Oklahoma at home, and then a toss-up against Tennessee at home. It's a lot of SEC wins. I mean, I set a lot of numbers there.
That Tennessee game could be pretty interesting at the end. Got a long way to go between now and then.
Giving Ole Miss a 47% chance in that game, and they would like to set an over-under at 128 for that game.
Yeah, that game's got rock fight written all over it.
First to 65 gets the crown in that one, I feel like.
I'd hate to have to officiate that game.
Oh, because
that's a lot. That's a lot. You
don't want to draw that assignment if you're the ref. You go, God.
You got to bring your lunch pail to that one. Again, I thought the officials called a decent game. They're never going to get a perfect game. You're not. I know there was criticism. They're going to miss calls. I thought that game was okay. Bama didn't go to the line a whole lot.
26. 26.
Yeah.
I think that's where they were.
I thought it was fine.
Ole Miss still just protecting the basketball, 5th nationally in non-steal turnovers, meaning 5th nationally in not doing stupid crap, basically.
They don't turn it over. It's part of their look.
Up to 14th nationally in adjusted efficiency.
The key for them is don't turn it over and don't get mauled on the boards. And they're not. They lost by 2 on the boards last night. So for the season in 4 SEC games, they're either they're somewhere around -2. That's wild. He would have jumped at that.
Oh.
And if you told him Brown Jones wasn't going to play in those 4 games, basically, because he got hurt early in the Georgia game, and only be down a net of 2 rebounding, yeah, come on, he'd have been thrilled. Tells you that they're playing the game the right way, because they're not going to go dominate on the glass. They're not tall enough. In a league full of big people, they're not going to go dominate glass. They're just not. It's not going to happen. It's about holding your own. That's why he made a joke about you. Maybe we should raise the banner.
No, metrics starting to look really, really good for Ole Miss. I was looking here real quick. Again, elsewhere in the league last night, Auburn 88-66 over Mississippi State. I had Ole Miss on the main screen or whatever, but looking at stats, following a little bit of Auburn, Janai Broome out and everyone stepped up. That was a complete team effort and just demolition of Mississippi State last night at Neville. I mean, it was a really impressive basketball game for Auburn.
I'm a Bruce Pearl guy, so I'm not. I don't even know that I'm particularly objective here. They're fun.
They were up 19 at the break.
You talk about a team that has an identity.
Yeah, now 16-1, 4-0, matching Ole Miss at 4-0. The only 2 teams left. State, look, huge game for them Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, the pressure is on the Bulldogs on Saturday, not the Rebels. State now 2-2 in the SEC, coming off back-to-back losses, 14-3 overall. A little bit of an early test here. They get Tennessee next week on the road. I mean, you're staring 4 losses in a row in your face if you lose on Saturday.
I mean,
I'm not just going to go into Thompson Bowling and go, I'm going to get this one, guys. I mean,
no, that's not a good strategy.
Just hope for the best and see what happens.
Be interesting.
Again, Missouri 83-82.
5 o'clock Saturday, is that right?
That's correct. 5 o'clock on Saturday for that one. Kentucky played really well and handled A&M last night, 81-69 at Rupp for the Aggies.
He's done a really good job.
I think Wade Taylor's absence finally catching up to the A&M a little bit last night for sure.
So too. Yep.
3-1 now for Kentucky, 14-3 overall. A&M 2-2, 13-4. And then in the game between winless teams last night, LSU 78-74 over Arkansas. They were down 2 at the break, outscored them by 6 in the second half, and they improved to 1-3 in the SEC. Arkansas now 11-6, 0-4 in the SEC. So after a little bit of hindsight, that was one you definitely needed in Fayetteville last week on the way to whatever number you're getting to.
Yeah.
You just didn't know it at the time to the level that it was required.
But just sort of knew what you were looking at.
3 games tonight to finish up the midweek. South Carolina is at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt favored by 8.5 over the Gamecocks tonight. It's a big line for Vanderbilt, South Carolina tonight.
It's in Nashville?
It's in Nashville.
Yeah.
South Carolina used a lot of emotion in a loss to Auburn on Saturday. They're 0-3 in the SEC. It's been a rough little go for Carolina since that hugely hot start for Lamont Paris last year. You know, they got off to that huge start and then been a little scuffling since then for them. Georgia is in Thompson Bowling tonight to face the Volunteers. Bulldogs 11.5-point underdogs to Tennessee in that game tonight. Over-under, speaking of, 133.5 in that game.
Yeah. Nah.
Kind of like Tennessee.
Free shot for Mike.
Yeah. And then Oklahoma, a 2.5-point favorite at home against Texas in their SEC matchup in Norman tonight. Both teams 0-3 in the SEC.
So we're thinking he'll have to go to that one.
Will he be there tonight?
Probably. Still doing the first thingy. Yeah.
The Miss America wave a little bit.
A little bit.
Kissing the babies, telling everybody hello and all that stuff.
A little bit.
Congratulations, guys. Both teams 0-3. Hope y'all have a nice night. Love to have you. It's great. As good of a schedule as Texas got in football, they got a really crappy one in basketball.
It's a tough league, man.
You got to play them sometime.
It's just, I mean,
look, everybody's losing games.
Nobody's terrible.
There are still 4 winless teams in the SEC.
Nobody's terrible.
No.
Arkansas's 0-4, and they've got a couple of dudes that might go in the first round. So they're not terrible. LSU, I saw them in person. They're not terrible. Matt's a good coach. They have a really good scheme, and they play the game. Carolina's got a potential lottery pick. There is no terrible team in the league. So when people go, well, they suck. No, they don't. Nope. They don't suck. It's a really hard league.
The 4 winless teams through a quarter of the conference schedule. That is Oklahoma, Texas, South Carolina, and Arkansas. So Vanderbilt and LSU are both 1-win teams. Vanderbilt 1-2, LSU 1-3. A&M, Mississippi State, Florida, all 2-2. Georgia 2-1 before tonight. Tennessee 2-1 before the night. Missouri Tigers 3-1 after their little early stretch here.
Yeah.
And then Kentucky 3-1, Bama obviously 3-1, and Ole Miss and Auburn 4-0 in the SEC standings.
Mizzou's good.
Yeah. Shot the hell out of it last night.
Yeah.
Just blistering last night. I think 55 from the field, 50 from 3 in the first half.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And then held on, though.
They're 13-0 at home so far.
Yeah. Ole Miss goes there like soon, right?
It's after A&M.
Yeah.
Next
weekend.
At State, A&M at home, 8 o'clock, by the way, on that midweek against the Aggies.
Yeah.
And then.
What time's the Mizzou game?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I do not know the answer to that. The bottom, this kind of plays out this way. Texas, South Carolina, and Arkansas have all lost multiple home games to date, too.
Yeah.
Texas and Oklahoma have lost 3 games at home so far this season. It's probably a bad sign.
Probably.
Oklahoma was undefeated and ranked like 11th in the country a week and a half ago.
It's a hard league. It's hard to win games.
Ole Miss 6th in the SEC as far as a Ken Palm ranking at this point. Doesn't really matter. I'm just throwing it out there.
So his computers are biased. I think Ken Palm says, how can I fix this computer program? Change the variable here.
5 o'clock for Missouri and Ole Miss.
Okay.
5 o'clock Central for that game.
It's a long drive for a basketball game in January.
They'll fly.
I was thinking about me.
I know. I was going to Columbia for that game.
Depends. Depends how big the story gets.
Okay.
I didn't go to Tuscaloosa last night, and I'll tell you exactly why. I thought they'd
win.
lose, and if they lost, nobody was going to read it. And so I'm just burdening myself. So, yeah, speaking of Missouri, there was a certain degree of show me. I think that's more than fair.
Oh, it's fair. Yeah, we weren't lit up with people expecting Ole Miss to win last night.
No.
I don't have an updated percentage that Ole Miss is making the tournament, but I mean,
it's in the 90s.
I would be
right
blown
now.
away if they don't make the tournament at this point. I mean, they're 4-0 in a league where I think 8's enough. Start doing the math.
They'd have to absolutely collapse.
Oh, it would have to be yeah. Yeah, I don't like going to Tuscaloosa, too. There is that. But you'd have just been there for the game and back. No big deal. But that's not a garden spot I want to spend a weekend, typically.
No, and I don't like doing the driving at midnight thing. I'm not good at that. I wasn't good at that when I was younger. Just your eyes, you don't see particularly well.
We left Nashville at 1 a.m. one time.
That was so stupid.
Got back at 5 a.m.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that again.
That was stupid.
Spend the night.
Yeah.
Sleep.
That was the 2008 or 9 Vanderbilt. I guess it was 9. Yeah. 2009 Vanderbilt game.
I don't remember.
I think that's right. Well, because it's home and home. And 11 was the year that you talked to Pete down on the sidelines. So it had to be 9.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
So that was 2009. I mean, I just there's nothing about this team that shows any type of collapse. I mean, they've been a consistent team. I mean, they've played one bad basketball game this year. It was against Memphis.
Yeah.
They got ran out of the Parham that day.
And it was the best thing that could have happened to him. He got their attention.
Yeah, kind of like Nate today. Beard, whatever day that was when, hey.
No,
Here you go.
He told him you have to execute the plan. You have to execute the plan.
And when you don't do that. I saw a 2-round mock draft this morning from The Athletic. switching gears a little bit. And
Basketball?
no, football.
Oh, okay.
Switching gears.
Ah, damn it. I was hoping we were going to talk some NBA draft. I was getting excited.
I couldn't name 4 dudes. Just sit there and look and try to pronounce them at this
Cooper
point.
Flagg, Ace Bailey.
It's fair. But what I was...
The kid from Illinois moving up fast.
Is he still moving up?
Oh, yeah, he's a stud.
But what's interesting about this is I think they completely screwed, and this happens, is people putting out content way earlier than it's actually needed because we haven't had combine season, we haven't had draft, we haven't had all that stuff. Pro days. I think they just simply forgot Trey Amos because it's a 2-round draft and he's not on the list. And I guarantee Trey Amos is going to be taken in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah,
I think they literally just forgot him on the list. I mean, and I'm not blaming anybody. I was just looking for the name and went,
it happens.
Yeah, I was like, The only 2 Rebels mentioned, and Dane at The Athletic, not high on Ole Miss's individual talent. He has the first Rebel off the board at 43 with Walter Nolan, which is way late. Walter will go before that.
Boy, it'd be a steal.
Oh. Yeah, they have the 49ers taking Nolan with the 43rd pick. They'd be pumped that day.
Boy, that'd be that draft room.
I mean, unless he's putting a gas mask on, I don't know how in the hell Nolan falls to 43. I mean, that seems very, very unlikely. And then they have Princely going 47 to the Cardinals as well.
That's more realistic.
That's a little higher than most people have had him. And they have Trey Harris going 58 to the Texans.
That'd be good for Trey.
That'd be good for Trey. Trey would lock that in right now.
Yeah.
If he could lock that in. But no one's going to go higher than that. That's about right for Princely. I will not be surprised at all if Jackson Dart ends up in the second round. I kind of expect him to be in the second round.
I was going to say, I think I'll be surprised if he's not.
Yeah, I think I will too. And then Trey Amos is going to be a first or early second round pick. He just is.
I think so.
So
is Trey in Senior Bowl?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I'll look at that real quick. They still have Cam Ward going number 1. I mean, I just look. Maybe he ends up being John Elway, but
I'm betting against it.
Speaking of show me, they will have to show you that one
Dude.
At this point. I mean,
they'd have to sit me down, tape my eyes open, and make me see it.
Yeah, Ole Miss accepted Senior Bowl invites to date. Trey Amos, Jared Ivey, Walter Nolan, Princely, and Caden Davis.
And Dart.
And Dart, yes, sorry.
So there's 6 of them.
6, that's correct. Amos, Ivey, Nolan, Princely, Davis, Dart.
Might need to head down to Mobile. It'd be fun. You can turn that into some content. I don't know. Would anybody read that?
Yeah. I think people are interested in this draft class. Like I said, Ole Miss hasn't had a first-round pick since 2017 with Evan. They haven't had multiple since 2016. Yeah, I think so. And as you said, it's a story for this program. That's where they've got to get next. You have to take these portal guys and do 2 things with them. You have to improve their draft stock, and then it has to pay off with actual draft.
Yeah.
And the first part they've hit on.
Yeah.
Nolan's a better candidate today than he was 365 days ago.
Yeah, but you got to have that proof of concept. You put guys in the league.
Yeah, I think completely on that. That's 2 more Senior Bowl participants than Alabama has. Alabama's got 4. Probably been a minute since that's been the stat.
Nick Saban's not there anymore.
Georgia has 5.
Yeah.
Got 1 more than Georgia. Florida has 4. Iowa State has 5. Little sneaky thing there with Matt Campbell.
Yeah, he's really good. And he stayed there for a long time.
LSU has 6. Ohio State 4. Oregon's got like 14, whole damn team. But what that also says is they're losing.
Did you see the mock draft that had both Quinshawn and Jackson on the same team? I laughed out loud.
Oh, did it really?
I howled laughing. I mean, it was just, they weren't thinking, but I was like, oh, that'd be an interesting day. Sign me up for that day. Can
I get a cartoon bubble on Jackson when his name's called and he sees who the other dude was?
I'd call your buddy with the Saints and go, is there any way Any way at all that I could attend the first rookie minicamp? That's all I want. That's it. I don't need a press box seat. I don't need a parking
I need
pass.
Jackson handing the ball off to Quinshawn for a week. That's what I need.
I need access to your rookie minicamp, specifically the offense. And then I'm leaving. You don't have to feed me, nothing.
It's good.
I don't need a parking pass.
No, I didn't see that.
I'll Uber.
I did not see that. That's good stuff.
God, that'd be funny as hell.
I think Jackson would just be deflated. Just I mean, Quinshawn will show up every week in the NFL. Can't really renegotiate in week 7. In theory.
I mean, he's playing for a national title in 5 days.
He is. All right, we'll come back in a minute. Declaration of Independence Center for the Study of American Freedom, located on the Ole Miss campus. They aim to explore and examine the fundamental founding principles in the United States of America. They offer an academic minor in freedom studies and scholarship opportunities for Ole Miss students that bring along lots of networking potential. To learn more, contact Stephen Scoltetti. That's freedom@olemiss.edu for an email, or visit independence.olemiss.edu.
We're brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. Listen, if you're planning a trip that you want to be one that creates a lifetime of unique memories, get in touch with John and give him some parameters. Give him a budget. He's going to give you options that you're probably not going to find on your own. And no, you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. 901-494-3387 or jedwards@regencytravel.net. Get the beautiful, healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile, from routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign. Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. Schedule your appointment today and take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com. Are you a displaced corporate executive wanting to put your career in your own hands? Are you an experienced entrepreneur? An experienced entrepreneur, Neal. And before a word that starts with a vowel. An experienced entrepreneur wanting to diversify. Either way, Andy Ludicky can help. He owns multiple franchises and businesses. He uses his expertise to help others find their American dream through a very thorough and free consultation process. So call Andy, put your life and your career in your own hands. It's 100% free. You've got nothing to lose. Find your perfect franchise at myperfectfranchise.net or contact Andy at myperfectfranchise.net, or you can call him on his cell, 404-973-9901. Located in the heart of Cajun country in Broussard, Louisiana. Speaking of the Saints, right there in Broussard, Parish Brewing Company. Their simple goal is to make awesome craft brewed beer. And if I'm the judge, I'll tell you that they've done a phenomenal job at it. They've got Dr. Juice. It's their go-to IPA, a highly crushable juice bomb. They got Ghost in the Machine, which is a double IPA, absolutely fantastic. Here lately, my favorites, Envy, their America Pale Ale. They've got, they'll have wheat beers and things coming out here soon, Canebrake, others. If you are at a bar or you're at the grocery store, wherever, looking for your beer, if you haven't tried Parish, take my word for it. Try Parish Brewing Company. You won't regret it.
Podcast also brought to you by Northeast Spark, the fastest, most reliable fiber internet option available, whether you're streaming the Rebels or connecting with family and friends. They offer both residential and business packages with speeds up to 2 gigabits. To learn more, register for service. That's AnySpark.com. AnySpark, get connected. Stay local. The AFCA, is that what it's called? The American Football Coaches Association?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
They came out with 2 things yesterday. One that they have already voted unanimously on. That is a 10-day transfer portal window. That would be in the month of January. So it would shorten the holiday, Christmas, December portal to 10 days in January. And it would eliminate the spring portal period there. Be gone. Poof. up in smoke.
Where do I sign up?
Evaporation.
Is there a place I can sign up? You know, I'll do it in blood.
Players will be pissed, of course, because they get in whatever they want right now. Coaches unanimously giving that. However, it is to be said. No one said you have to pick your school within 10 days. They said you have to get in the portal.
Though I'd be in favor of that too.
That's fine, but that's not the rule.
Right.
The rule is simply be there for class or sort of kind of for class.
Well, it's to stop this December madness. December's stupid right now in college football. You're playing playoff games. You're playing bowl games. You're taking final exams. Oh, and everybody's leaving in December. I mean, I'm sorry, but you can be the most ardent college football lover in the world, and you have to admit that that's screwed up.
Now, what does it take for that to be? Can they simply vote it into law, if you will? I think so.
I think so, to your point.
Until someone sues, you can vote whatever you want.
Well, I mean, I don't even know that someone could sue about, hey, that we changed the calendar.
No, you can't sue on that.
I mean, this is where they could take it back. Do it. Do something. You don't have to have the portal open on December the 8th and basically open till February 1st, the way it is today.
No, I like the rule. Yeah, I like it. It's good.
I mean, you could stop that.
Again, it was unanimous. There's no coach is going to look at that and go, nope. Really love how it's going right now. I mean, give me a break.
It's unmanageable right now. Again, I mean, look, here's what it would negate, too. I go back to New Year's Day. In Jacksonville, we were at WJTC, I think, right across the street, sort of from Everbank Stadium.
Okay.
Gator Bowl had a very nice function. Called it a fireside chat. There was no fire, but still.
Yeah.
It was Manny Diaz and Lane Kiffin and some guy from
the Gator Bowl.
The Gator Bowl. And it was well done. It was really well done. Very organized. They were very nice. Passed out credentials, the whole thing. It was very first class.
Everybody showed up on time?
Everybody was good. And everybody was congenial. It was very nice. The majority of the conversation was about what was wrong with the sport.
Instead of talking about the Gator Bowl.
And it was valid.
Yeah.
It was all valid. Lane talked about it. Manny talked about it. Manny was sitting there about to play a game with his third-string quarterback because he was doing the quarterback thingy. And he wasn't saying, hey, we're the victim here. No, he had bought Tulane's quarterback.
Sure.
Manny had his quarterback leave, and then he went and stole Tulane's quarterback. So he wasn't going, hey, I'm innocent victim here. No, he was just saying this is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't wrong. What should have been a celebration for Duke, 9-3, hey, we're going to a New Year's Day bowl, was like, yeah, but most of our team's not here.
Yeah, they were missing their starting quarterback, their second-team quarterback, and their starting running back.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's broken. It's the word Lane Kiffin used. It's a broken system. Well, then fix it. Fix some of it at least. That's the 10-day thing. Does it fix everything? No. But does it kind of negate some stuff? Sure.
Well, the press conference when they announced the two teams, that all the questions to Manny were talking about, like, hey, how are you navigating this portal period with Malik gone? What's it look like? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Because remember that old man or whatever got on him was like, hey, what's your game plan with the third-team quarterback? And he was like, don't get him killed. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
as soon as the game was announced, Manny went, we're not winning the game, and I don't care. That's what he did. Like,
yeah.
He didn't go into that going, oh, we're going to go get them.
No. He handled it the exact right way. And when it was over, he said, hey, if we're ever going to get where we want to get, we've got to be able to compete with teams like that. Fair.
What is more mixed and will be fun's the wrong word, will be interesting from the AFCA today is they are going to vote on the potential new injury rule to try to stop teams from faking injuries.
Okay.
Said that it was very split during the conversations yesterday at this. Says that what they're planning to do is that if a player has to leave the field for injury during a drive, they are out the rest of a drive unless the team uses a timeout to bring them back into the game.
Right. Teams don't like this.
And the head coaches will be fined if they break the policy.
And teams don't like this because, like, a quarterback gets hurt and it's not a big injury, but he lays there for a second.
Can't get up.
He can't get up right away. Now he's got to sit the rest of an 8-play drive, or you got to burn a timeout. What happens if you don't have a timeout? I've told you for a long time, this is a hard one, right? Because you put people on the on the honor code a little bit, and you also ask a lot of officials here.
Yeah, Freeze, one of the most vocal at the conference yesterday, came back and said it's all fine until it's your quarterback, but what if the injury is real? And then what if the drive lasts 10 plays longer?
He's not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference in, you don't have them on that third down versus, hey, my quarterback's out for a 14-play drive here.
Unless I burn a timeout. What if I don't have a timeout?
Yeah. Game-winning drive. Quarterback gets dinged. I'm out of timeouts, and he's on the field, and that's it. Starter's out.
Or I've got to use my one timeout now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, words I don't say very often. Hugh is right.
Yeah, I don't think this one's kosher.
Well, it's tough.
I do think there should be some type of penalty. I do. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, and I don't know how you do that, right?
It's hard.
Because
no,
you're
hard.
telling the official to determine whether a kid's faking it or not.
And get it wrong
well, that's
one
a lot.
time.
That's a lot to ask, honestly. I wouldn't want to be staked with that, would you? I mean, yeah, you're Mr. Smart Guy until you go out there.
Because what they did this season was if there was an incredibly because Lane got fined I think it was $50,000. If there was an incredibly obvious one, the league quietly fined the head coach after the game.
Yeah.
I'm sure Lane wasn't the only one. It's just what I know about because whatever. Okay.
No, I feel quite confident he wasn't the only one.
No way. But he got fined off of Dart looking at Matt Jones and telling him to fall down.
Yeah.
Basically, Dart pulled out the little gun with his finger and went boom, and he fell down.
Yeah.
Which was funny in the moment, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But
I laughed. There was some Fred Sanford moments from like defensive linemen. They'd get up and you'd see the coaches on the other side going, no. And then all of a sudden it's the big one. This is the big one.
There isn't one like it's kind of like Fat Guy Touchdown. There's not much funnier than like somebody the size of like Xavier Harris going whoa and just falling over and jumping on the ground. It's like okay, good.
I was fine and now I'm in agonizing pain, and I will return in 2 plays.
I'll be all right.
Yeah. I would always be the one in the press box that would go, "It's a miracle." Oh. What do you do? I don't know. I'm not in favor of adding to the officials' plates.
I get it.
You're asking a lot. Hey, run around on the field and don't get hurt around these 22 big, strong people, and now determine whether they're actually injured or not.
I mean,
that's a lot.
Look, I'm not saying anything is impossible in football. And I mean, R. Walker says that some coaches could tell their players to hit a quarterback late to make him out for the rest of the drive.
Sure. I think this is a hard one.
Because you are making a mockery of it with what's currently going on. Nobody's arguing that. Even the people saying do it are not arguing that.
I mean, Lane did it and still criticized it. I mean, but when you ask them, okay, how do you fix this one?
It's complicated.
It gets complicated. When you say, hey, how do you fix the portal? Well, let's do a 10-day window. One window.
Mm-hmm.
Knock it out. Everybody goes, yes. Okay, well, that might mean you're on to something. But on this, it's like,
but what if?
Yeah. Hugh's not wrong.
No, he's right here. 100%.
You go, you do this until it's your quarterback, and then.
Yeah, this isn't defensive linemen falling down to get a breather. Like, it's a different deal.
Yeah, or to stop the clock.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place at this point.
Because here's what happens, right? And then I'll stop. Yeah. The official goes, you're faking. And then the next day it comes out that, no, he tore his ACL. Now the official's a jackass. That's not fair. That's if I'm an official, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. That's too much. I'm already struggling enough.
It would mean the most blatant ones would get, you know what I mean? Like anything shy of the Dart thing, you go, no.
But if you as an official don't see Jackson.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Go, hey, Matt, boom.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to see in the moment. Like things are moving and you're trying to spot the ball and you're moving the chains. And
they don't have an official that goes, hey, watch and see if somebody fakes an injury on the field.
Well, but even if they did, there's 22 people. and you're moving stuff, and you got the ball boy made a bad throw, and you're chasing a ball down, and maybe it's raining, and you're trying to you're doing a lot of stuff. Like there's a lot of things like the Bull Durham scene. We're dealing with a lot of stuff here. So unless you see Jackson tell Matt to go down, you don't know that Matt's not hurt. Maybe he had a bad cramp. It happens. And all of a sudden you can't walk. He's going to go, you're faking? I mean, Aaron Rodgers stood up after he tore his Achilles. When he goes down, do you go, oh, you're stalling?
Yeah.
No, I tore my Achilles, jackass. You just didn't see it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's doable.
Yeah, you've seen guys get legitimately hurt and be out 3 plays. And they come back in. Because if they're out longer than that, it wouldn't matter anyway.
Right. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
First world problems.
Well, that's...
I mean, be okay.
A lot of other sports look at them and go, yeah, you got 23 million people to look and watch something, whatever, deal with it.
Yeah.
Be okay. I'm just trying to hang out over here. Where's the latest Japanese free agent guy going in Major Leagues? I saw The Athletic talked about him a lot this morning.
Roki Sasaki, Padres or Dodgers. The rumor is Padres.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Blue Jays are in it too, but the rumor is Padres.
Okay. That's fine.
He's really good. I held out some hope, but I knew better.
Yeah. A few more random topics after the break. We'll get to those. I've got them written down. But first, tell you about the men's clinic in Madison and Brandon. 601-607-7869 in Madison, 769-241-9012 in Brandon. Their mission is very, very clear. They want to make sure you remain as healthy and as strong as possible throughout the aging process. They optimize testosterone, improve sleep, reduce inflammation, treat insulin resistance, and much more. You make the first appointment, you head on down, or head local if you're already down there. And after that, they can treat you pretty much from anywhere. They're doing that with me right now. That's themanthing.com is the website to go see all the different things they have to offer. Again, that's Madison and Brandon, and that's 601-607-7869.
We're brought to you by Easy Hemp Co. Easy is a hemp-infused sparkling water. It's a guilt-free alcohol alternative, a natural way to relax and unwind. It's all natural, made with real fruit, no added sugar, it's low calorie, gluten-free. One 12-ounce can of Easy has 3 milligrams of THC. With Easy, it's easy to avoid the gummy scare and control your experience. So change the can, not the ritual. It's easy. Visit easyhempco.com to find the Easy Finder and find Easy near you. Easy is Farm Bill compliant with hemp derived from THC, CBD extracts. Easy is for people 21 and older. Enjoy responsibly. I'll have a mailbag up a little later this morning, I think. It's brought to you by Art Hayes, Sotheby's International Realty. Are you thinking of making a move? Put the power of Sotheby's to work for you. As a licensed agent with Sotheby's International Realty and a supporter of all things Ole Miss, Art can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world at no charge to you. Seriously. So call and ask Art how. Call 612-805-5929 or email Art at arthur.hayes@lakesmn.com. We'll have picks up probably Saturday. They're brought to you by Kaiser Flooring. Locations in Oxford and Batesville, Kaiser Flooring provides outstanding quality flooring products and installation services to residential and commercial properties. Kaiser carries the best in hardwood, laminate, vinyl, and tile flooring, as well as carpeting. Their goal is to offer amazing and durable flooring products and superior services to make your life easier. Kaiser installs your flooring quickly, delivers the best flooring experience possible. So get in touch with them today at kaiserflooring.com or call them in Oxford at 662-830-3194 or in Batesville, 662-371-1912.
Matthew Sluka, the quarterback who left UNLV during the regular season, just in the middle of the damn year, he signed with James Madison.
I saw that. He's a Duke now. It's all worth it.
It's probably not how he saw that playing out. JMU, a good program, but probably not where he.
Probably not.
UNLV's going to win. You got Mullen. Picked up the former 5-star yesterday who'd been all over the damn country. A&M, LSU, UTSA, UNLV. It's a lot of initials, isn't it?
It's a lot.
A&M, LSU, UTSA, UNLV.
What's his name?
I
The
don't
kid?
know. I mean, I'm
So
sure
when he plays on Sunday Night Football,
Denver Harris, cornerback Denver Harris.
he'll say Denver Harris, cornerback, UTSA, LSU, Texas A&M, UNLV. That might be where Denver just goes San Marcos High School.
I thought Princely handled his goodbye social media thing pretty well. He had one little he had the Gator logo and the Rebel logo on there. Like he had everything kind of had it done up.
Yeah.
Or almost as marketing people had it done up. It was well done. It was good. If you only have two, you kind of symmetrically makes it all right. When you get 3 and 4, and it was one. Oh, I think TJ Finley's on 5.
Could be.
I think it's 5 for Mr. Finley.
TJ Finley, quarterback. This is going to take a minute.
It's the not successful version, and like it's that golf clip from back in the day, and Tiger Woods is teeing off, and they always would read like the tournament she won, like heading up, and it's like the American Express and the Genesis and the Masters and the U.S. Open, and like he gets halfway through it, and Phil Mickelson's playing with him, and he goes, "All right." He's like, "Cut it out. We get it. It's fine."
Oh God.
I don't know. This is more your, I guess back up. I have a point here. Jeffrey mentioned last week, and I was going to ask him if he does this too a ton. He mentioned not watching games with sound very often. And I have found where I do that. I hardly ever follow with play-by-play on in front of me. Like to the point of anybody else is in my living room, they'd be like, "Hey, can we get sound?" Because they want sound. And I don't. I just want to watch the screen. Am I weird? Is that normal? And I guess when saying that, like I saw today, it's a big coup for Amazon. Amazon has hired Kevin Harlan for their NBA rights movement moving forward. So now their 1-2 for play-by-play is Ian Eagle and Kevin Harlan.
Pretty good.
Going really strong there with those two things. Am I odd? Or are more people, though, not following with sound or watching games with the commentating going on in that?
I don't know.
I just wonder if that's the next thing. It gets a little overvalued.
Could be. I mean, a lot of people, like, if you turn on the quad thing, sound can almost be disruptive.
Do you pick which screen gets sound or what?
Or I just usually mute that screen.
Oh, do you really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the weirdo that.
But can you pick which game is giving you sound? Okay.
But I'll put one game on one screen and then put 4 games on the other screen, so I can just sort of keep up.
Yeah, Grind says I'm not normal, and I mean I'm fully admitting that I may be really weird not using sound, but I find myself typically, and maybe it tells me I'm distracted and I'm doing something else, so I don't want the sound.
Maybe. I don't know.
Doing that.
Sometimes I'll drive down the road for 4 hours with no noise in the car, and I'm told that's really
4
weird.
hours?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see. Last night,
total silence, and I'm told you're crazy.
Yeah, like in the stream, your mom, not Judy, but your mom is the username, said the play-by-play was atrocious last night. I never turned the sound on for that game last night at all. I heard 0 play-by-play of Ole Miss and Alabama last night.
I had it on. I didn't hear that. But now, first half I was distracted. And second half I was at a soccer game. So I wasn't able to really hear.
Okay. I mean, yeah,
I don't. What probably happened, I don't even know who was on the play-by-play last night.
I don't either.
Was it Dane Bradshaw?
I don't know. Literally, I'd never even noticed.
What probably happened is the human thing where you go in expecting a certain outcome. And in this case, they expected the team at Alabama to win in Tuscaloosa. And so you probably did a lot of your advanced prep based on that. It happens. I could be wrong.
They said Bradshaw.
Yeah. I mean, Dane played at Tennessee. I highly doubt that he's a huge Crimson Tide fan. He probably just expected it. Isn't Tom Hart an LSU guy?
Is he?
I think. I don't know. Like I've talked to Taylor about this. Taylor Zars is a good friend of mine.
Yeah, of course.
And sometimes you have to fight as a broadcaster the natural inclination to expect a narrative to form.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. Calling a lot of games. You do a day or two of research. Ken Palm had Alabama at 80-something% last night going into that game?
Yeah, Ole Miss had a 22% chance of winning that basketball game.
So Ken Palm had Alabama at
78%.
So you're probably preparing for an Alabama win in some ways. I could be wrong. I don't know. Hart went to Missouri. I mean, if you want to be a journalist. Part of my demise at Ole Miss was saying this out loud, but if you want to be a journalist in sports,
Missouri's a good start.
You should strongly consider going to the University of Missouri.
Northwestern has a lot too.
They do. For whatever reason, the Mizzou thing upset some people over there. I'd apologize, but I'm right. So,
yeah, I'm trying to think. I had no volume on last night. I left basketball against LSU early, and I got out really fast. So I actually got home right before the game ended on Saturday night. And I know Richard was on the play-by-play because it just was on when I turned it on.
It was Richard and Joe Klein Saturday.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I caught the end of that, but that's the last that I've gotten on that. Where do you stand on Starbucks saying that if you want to use your bathrooms, you got to buy something? Are you for?
Yeah, sure. I'm open for that.
Purchases for bathroom requirements?
Yeah.
I think I am too.
I mean, come on.
I think a gas station shouldn't require it because your sort of mode of travel.
Right.
If I do sometimes just simply out of courtesy. Like I catch myself, depending on where I'm at, going, okay, fine, let me get something. But
well, like usually,
you do run in the bathroom a little bit at a gas station differently.
But typically, even like if I go to a Love's or something because I just got to go to the bathroom, I'll go buy a bottle of water.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you just grab something.
Yeah. Because somebody's
some
having
jerky,
to clean
some
the bathrooms and all
water.
that stuff. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think that's the case. But I don't think they should have a rule. I don't think gas stations should have a rule.
Oh, and I hate to be the one that has to enforce said rule.
Hey, purchase. Hey.
Did you just urinate?
Yeah. No.
You did, didn't you?
Lock the doors.
Buy something.
Yeah,
no, come on.
Says you'll need to buy a latte or a butter croissant to get the bathroom code at all Starbucks locations, the coffee giant said yesterday, ending a toilet free-for-all policy that had been in place since 2018.
A latte or they're just using that as an example?
They're using an example.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Like, Starbucks said the move is part of its strategy to improve the cafe experience, bring back customers, and make things safer for workers. I don't understand that one. In recent months, the new CEO has announced other changes to boost waning sales, including a simplified menu and the return of condiment bars.
Oh, okay.
He came from Chipotle, right?
I think that's
right. He's a big wig. He was big time at Chipotle, made them a shit ton of money, and then now he's at the Starbucks. I think Starbucks is doing fine, judging by lines and anecdotal.
Man, the one in my hotel in Jacksonville was packed.
Was it pumping?
All the time. They were really nice, though. That hotel was nice.
I think the one in Kroger does okay.
It does really well.
Yeah.
It's always full.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I've never gotten a coffee at Kroger. I sometimes get a coffee in TJ Maxx's if I'm there. I mean, not TJ Maxx, a Target. Sorry, they have Starbucks and Target, and I'll sometimes do that.
I avoid Target if possible.
Do you? Not your jam.
I let other people in my
Tupelo's getting one.
Is that right?
I think so.
How about that? Good for them.
Yeah, you excited? You can go opening day, drive on down, walk around, hang out.
Can't wait.
Yeah, you can do that. TJ Maxx, Kohl's, Hobby Lobby, all on the same day. Have a big day. Stop at Danvers for lunch. It's all good.
I'm right now very excited that my wife does not listen to the podcast.
She pops up occasionally.
It's very rare.
Yeah, I think so. Look, most people don't care if the coffee's any good because you're putting so much stuff in it, it doesn't matter. Starbucks isn't hurt by having bad coffee because you're putting 2 pumps of vanilla and a pump of almond and frappuccino and cream. And I mean, I would assume the percentage of people that simply get black coffee or coffee with one Splenda, 25% at most.
Probably.
I mean, I would assume lattes are 70% of your sales. It's my guess. I mean, I don't know a coffee person, but that's my guess.
Yeah. I'm less of a coffee person today than I've ever been in my entire life. And I've been drinking coffee since the 3rd grade. I've cut it way back.
Grind's right. CVS's and Walgreens have good restrooms typically.
Oh, really?
If you just need a bathroom stop and to grab
okay.
something, yeah, typically Walgreens, CVS's, those kind of places,
Okay.
they do that. So.
Things I was not prepared for today.
See, this is where the show goes. Yesterday it was vacation rankings on Rotten Tomatoes.
Buc-ee's bathrooms are really clean.
I mean, look, we can make fun of the Buc-ee's experience all we want to, but they do a hell of a job. It's pristine.
I'm not making fun of it at all.
If you need pajamas and a fire pit, you're ready to go on the way out the door. It's fine.
We've stopped at a Buc-ee's a couple of times. Aka says that's the most American thing he's ever seen. And I'm like,
it's hard to argue that. I mean, on the list of 5 things, Buc-ee's has to be way up there.
I can't argue. I can't even be like,
it's a gas station with 100 pumps and
everything you could possibly want.
The superstore of all superstores inside.
Yeah.
Now they're so crowded. I'm fine with a Love's or a Pilot or something. I can typically get what I need and move on. Unless I need to go see the wall of fudge or the wall of jerky or get a brisket sandwich. Typically okay.
Yeah.
I do love jerky. Fudge, take it or leave it. There's lots of better desserts than fudge.
Last time I was at a Buc-ee's, Carson got a brisket sandwich.
Yeah.
One of the big giant cinnamon rolls.
Oh.
He got all sorts of stuff, and I'm like, that's absurd. Like, how do you
eat that?
How do you eat that and look like you do?
Metabolism's a great thing now.
Totally unfair.
It is. So. All right, we'll have Jeffrey tomorrow morning. More coming up as the day moves on. RebelGrove.com, MPW Digital. You can see video of Chris Beard and Malik Dia. It is up, as well as all other post-game content there from Ole Miss's 74-64 win over Alabama last night at Coleman. Again, Rebels and Bulldogs, Saturday, 5 o'clock from Humphrey Coliseum in Starkville. But we'll have hand-raised guys tomorrow. We'll talk to Jeffrey in the morning and other programming coming as well. So take care. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you later.